Now the introduction phase is basically how it's defined, okay? Most of you guys are past this. I put this in here for trainers that I speak to, some coaches that I speak to, that are working with deconditioned athletes, people who haven't worked out for a long time, okay? And those people have to develop certain things before they can get into a full basic program, okay? GPP is extremely important when it comes to conditioning, okay? GPP stands for General Physical Preparedness. Everything that's developed in an introductory program is going to carry through into any program that you're going to do after that. Okay, you're preparing yourself for a higher program. The best way I can explain GPP all training is built around working to a peak, correct? You're training for a specific reason or a specific goal. That peak is determined by your level of preparedness. How prepared are you for that challenge? This level of preparedness is determined by your fitness level. Your fitness level in turn is determined by your work capacity. So how do we increase our work capacity? Can we do that through training? There's a natural means of doing that. We do it through general physical preparedness, which is doing the things to generally prepare your body. This can be, for a beginner, basically, they're out of shape. All right, so you're going to have to do some sled dragging. You're going to have them get conditioned. I think we all basically know how to get people fairly conditioned. All right, sled dragging, you need to do a tremendous amount of torso work, lower back and abdominals. All right, you have to train the core. The core has to be strong before you can start supporting other things. During an introductory phase, you're going to have to teach them how to squat. You're going to have to teach them how to bench. You're going to have to teach them how to do the good mornings. You're going to have to teach all these things. If you go full bore into a program but you've never taught them anything, how to do it, they're going to spiral backwards. Whereas the squat wave, for instance. Let's see here. You take a standard squat wave, which we talked about, which is 8 sets. For a beginner, somebody coming in, some of the clients I used to work with, older executives never worked out before, they're going to do 15 sets of 2. I might have to do 20 sets of 1. I want them to learn how to squat. Now, of course, they're not going to train at 70%. They're going to train at 45%, 50%. I have to teach the movement. After I do that, I'm going to develop some hamstrings, and we're going to work the crap out of the abdominals and lower back. I have to spend that time developing that for the end result that we're looking for. Okay, the best example I could use is Tracy, who hates me to use her as an example, but when she came in the gym, she didn't work out for years, forever. She couldn't deadlift the bar because her back hurt so bad. Had she gone straight into a full bore basic phase or circle maximal phase, she would have went nowhere. She had to take time, learn how to box squat, learn how to do all the other exercises. The basic program package stayed about the same, but there was more emphasis on lower back, hamstrings, and abdominals. And with that, after a year, she ended up totaling her elite, squatted 360, benched 240, and deadlifted 315 or whatever. Had she not done that, that never would have happened. Goes back to the pyramid I talked about. You don't develop the work capacity, the fitness, there's very little level of preparation. For GPP for an elite athlete, somebody who's at the level that we're at. All right, the only way we can increase this level of preparedness is to increase the base of work capacity to bring the pyramid higher. At that level, that's done with the extra workouts. The sled dragging, extra band work, things that we can do that don't break us down, but help to increase the work capacity to pull us back up. We'll talk about the extra workouts and where they fall here in a minute. But for the people who've been training for a long time, been doing our type of training for a long time, that's where you start looking into the extra workouts. The choice of the supplemental movements, as I said in there, for an introductory phase is going to be what? Abdominals, lower back, core exercises. Okay, the worst thing you can have them do is a bodybuilding program. Spending all this time on the limbs when everything stems from the core. And it's very hard to do if you're working with clients who want to look better. Because all they want to do is all the, all the things, biceps or whatever. It doesn't mean anything unless you can actually support it. Followed by a basic phase. Now this is where it's going to start. This is where most of you guys are at. The max effort days or the max effort exercises are going to be in a 1 to 3 week phase. We've already discussed that before. For an introductory or a beginner, that max effort exercise is probably going to be a little bit longer phase, and it's not even going to be max effort work. If it's a total beginner, they're probably going to do sets of 5, 8s, or whatever for the good mornings. For you guys, the basic phase, you're going to be doing the singles. You're going to be going at it just like we talked about. The dynamic effort's going to be a 4-week phase. You have to maintain all the abilities that you developed in the introduction cycle. You got to maintain your GPP. You got to maintain your torso strength and everything else, or the bucket will fall out. The goal is to increase your maximal strength, explosive strength, starting strength, dynamic strength, learn how to strain, and to develop technique and balance to keep the barbell in the groove. All this we talked about. That basic phase is, the 8 sets of 2 for the squat or the cycle. The squat cycles we'll get into. The squat wave is going to be a 4-week wave. The percents will be outlined here in about 2 minutes. The bench the same way. The choice of supplemental movements are going to be now more geared towards your weak points. Okay, I already took the guesswork out of it for you. For a power lifter, it's hamstrings and triceps. Hamstring and triceps. I've only met about 2 people that wasn't the weak points. And with those 2 people, I still had them do hamstrings and triceps, and they got stronger. That's vital. It's key. Never your quads. I don't ever want to hear that. Heard it 100,000 times. I don't squat very good because my quads are weak. Bull crap. You go to any meet, how come all the biggest quadded guys squat the less, or squat the least? These guys with the hamstrings. I can tell a squatter from looking at him from behind, not in front. A guy from in front that's stacked with big traps, big pecs, big shoulders, he's the guy I want in my weight class. The guy that turns around, he's got thick erectors, a big upper back, and hamstrings, I don't want him anywhere near my weight class. I don't care what he looks like from the front. He can look like a 60-year-old man. He turned around, he got erectors like this, I don't want any part of that guy.